Well, good afternoon and welcome to a little Monarchs Mocha for a Wednesday. Let's roll the open. How about it? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Ah, yes. Happy Wednesday. Let's get a little graphic up here on the screen. How about it? Let's do that. There we go. Dan Vaughn with you, voice of the Monarchs. Glad you're along as the music slowly fades away like a good coffee shop would. Unfortunately, don't have any cold brew today here in the house, but have some shortly at the ballpark. Looking forward to getting up there. Last night, let's discuss last night as we fade the music down there. I just stop it. How about that? It even works better if I just stop the music. Well, who did enjoy last night? Raise your hand if you didn't have a good time. Now, if you're in Sioux City, probably not so much. Kansas City had a good time last night. It's a really weird stat, what we talked about last night in the broadcast. The Monarchs had a lot of rough times late. Now, usually when you have a club that's 0-8 and 9 after 6, 7, and 8, usually, I would say most of the time, that club's going to have a losing record. It's very odd, I think, that a club, unless, and I'll give you the caveat in a moment, a club that's 23 and 11, so what, 12 games above, 11 games above, is 0-8, 0-9, and 0-10 after 6, 7, and 8. You would figure somewhere along the way you'd want a close ball game or a comeback win, especially with this offense, right? With this offense the Monarchs have, you would say, sure, can't be right, but nope, it was the case. 0-9, 0-9, and 0-10. The Monarchs have had a couple of tie ball games where they did win the ball game late, but no comeback wins. Only one comeback loss, and that happened last Tuesday, a week ago. So very strange numbers, and the only thing I can equate it to is you have the league's leading offense. More times than not, which as a matter of fact, I believe it's 15 times it gets won after 6 innings. You maybe double check that. It was maybe more than that. Let's just see here quickly. Somewhere. When leading after, I had this last night. I don't know why I've forgotten already. And I even tweeted this, so it's so I'm missing my mouse today. They left it at the ballpark. Trying to scramble out of there. Okay. When leading after 6, 7, and 8, you're 18-1, 21-1, and 21-0. So the flip of the coin is if you're 0-8 or 0-9, 0-9, 0-10 after 6, 7, and 8 when trailing, you've been dang near perfect the other way, and that's how it's been. So usually you'd have told me, you know what, your club doesn't win late. Well, you'd probably figure the club is not very good. That's not the case at all. This is the top club in the league. Offensively, pitching, all categories, this team is something else. It's just a weird stat. And I think it shows you just how strong this offense has been. And it was something I was talking with Connor Ryan about last night. He said, you look at the numbers of our club in 5, 6, and 7, even the eighth inning has been the Monarchs' biggest run-producing inning besides the 5th, which makes some sense. The 5th inning, your second or third time through. 8th inning, your bullpen's getting exposed to this offense. So that does make sense too. But again, I think it's a crazy stat. Last night was the first comeback win for the Monarchs this year when trailing after 6, 7, and 8. And still, you would figure that number would tell you this club is 10 below 500 instead of being 12 above 500. But it's just a weird stat. Again, I think it just shows you how strong this club is. Speaking of strong, let's show you what happened last night. Let me get those queued up for you here. If I can get them over to us here. last night's highlight melt. The good news from last night in the winner, an 8-6 win for Kansas City. Here we go. Promise. 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 I'm on play. Don't know why it wouldn't want to play for me. Let's try it again, folks. Weird. I'm going to load it in again, so we'll remote it in and see if it changes this time. I swear I had it right, unless, you know what? I think I know what it is. No, let's try it. Let's try it again. See if it'll load in for us here. It did load in for me. If not, I'll play it on the screen share it for you guys. But last night, Monarchs trailing by and really you go back to that 7th inning. That was a huge inning. They had the bases loaded, only got the 1 run home. It could have been a blow open the door inning, but the Monarchs, it was some really good pitching by Martinson, getting out of a bit of a spot and turning keeping that ball game at the time a 3-run ball game, or pardon me, a 2-run ball game. No, it was a 3-run ball game. It was 8. You cut to a 1-run lead with a home run. So, yeah, it was a 3-run ball game. And the 2-run home run for David Thompson as the wind shifted. Let's see if this will load in for us. Oh, here we go. No, it's not playing for me. That's really weird. All right, well, we'll screen share it for you. Let me try it on the screen here. Don't know why it's doing that, but odd. That's really weird. Sorry, it's taking me a moment here with the sorry, guys. This was not the plan. See, it's corrupted. That's why. Okay, well, we've got a bad file. Trust me, the Monarchs did some great things last night. I'm doing a 2-step here, all right? We got to get this worked out, don't we? The highlights not working. That's bizarre. That's really bizarre. Let me see if I can pull anything from the game last night. These are all individual plays. Let me see if these actually will play for us. I think they'll play for us. Okay, this will play. Let me play it for you. Get the screenshot for you. This is not the way I wanted to do it today, but this is David Thompson's home run late. Looks like I'll be having a staff meeting today, looks like. Where is it? Where are the highlights? Oh. Oh, boy. I don't even see it now. Huh. Well, boy, folks, you're like going, what is Vaughn up to today? He sure is not doing a broadcast. Well, we won't have highlights today. I do apologize. I will take your questions and comments here. And this one, I don't know why we don't have highlights and why they're corrupt, but for some reason they are. Oh, well. Anyway, well, let me recap the game for you last night. Is that the Monarchs get the 2-run home run, again down by 3 in that 8th inning. David Thompson goes deep. The key at bat in the inning, besides when you get the lead, but is Matt Adams works the walk. And then a 2-run shot gets you within 1. Then with 2 outs, you again battle again. You get a walk from Pete Cosma, the triple from J.C. Escada in right center, and then you get the triple ties the ball game up. You get the lead on the Abreu infield single. And then Abreu goes second to third on 2 back-to-back pitches, stealing bases. And there comes Darnell Sweeney with a solid single up the middle. And that was a 2-run lead. And you'd have McGrain shut the door. The Monarchs do win the ball game and trailing after 6, 7, and into the 8th inning. So it'll be a 6-7, and you'll be changing that stat. So good news last night. Rematch of last week's ball game against the Sioux City Explorers, when they actually Beardsley left the ball game with a deficit. This time, the Monarchs left with a deficit, and John Harris, but the Monarchs do get the win. Tonight, it'll be Patrick Lede. Remember, he was very good for them last week against Matt Hartman. Hartman was very good against them last week. Now, will those two duplicate what they did last week? Toss up goose eggs, keep a close ball game. It was 2-1 in that one. And when those two left, we'll see. But the Monarchs definitely had to really take the wind out of the sails of Sioux City. From an Explorers standpoint, they had cut the division lead, well, for them anyway, head-to-head. They got themselves a game of 500. They had the series against you. They've now dropped 4 in a row. They're back to where they were when they started the series last week, and they've given all those games back, and now they have given one more extra back. So, their roller coaster, if you think the Monarchs roller coaster ride has been crazy, that's crazy as well. So a little update right there. All right, tonight at 6:30, first pitch at 7 o'clock. Don't forget tomorrow. It's a day game, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. We'll be on there at 10:30 tomorrow, early brekkie in baseball. Just remember, tomorrow's a day game, 11 a.m. And then tonight, 6:30, the pregame, 7 o'clock. Love to have you out tonight. Got the discount with merch and with food tonight. That's going on tonight. Gates open at 6. It'll be Sioux City and your Kansas City Monarchs. Again, day game tomorrow. Tickets at monarchsbaseball.com. monarchsbaseball.com. Operators are standing by. Do apologize. I don't have the highlights. I got to work this out. I thought I made it pretty clear to my staff. I guess I got to do a better job of teaching, so I'll do that tonight. We'll get some highlights for you guys as I froze up right there. Okay, that's all I got unless you guys got something. Again, numbers are great, but I think once you dive in deeper in the numbers, and I think we learned a bit of this last night, Jackson and I were talking about this. The Monarchs were 70 points lower batting average-wise against Sioux City than against the rest of the league. Granted, a smaller sample size, but you saw last night the Monarchs out-hitting them for the third time in this head-to-head series. One of those games you lost. And I think you saw the worm turn a little bit last night because the Monarchs did it the way the Monarchs have been doing it. Can high wins can be, yes, they can be. What's weird, Kenny, is that it was the only – it hadn't happened this year. Bizarre. I mean, I usually when a team is 0-7 or 8, 9, 10 or whatever, and after 6, 7, and 8 when trailing, obviously you're going to lose those games more times than not. But to mix in a win or two here and there, or even let's say out of 9 ball games to be like something like 3-6, 2-7, not even a single win. And this club, with the 22-11 record after 33 ball games, I think you chalk it up to most of the time. If you flip the coin, this club's been up, after 6, all at one time they've won. That was last Tuesday. I mean, it's been automatic. So anyway, good stuff right there. Last call, questions and comments. Again, I do apologize. Highlights aren't there. Yeah, starting pitching. That's another thing. I mean, how many times has this club been up against the 8 ball, looking up the 5th inning down by 3 or 4? Not many. I mean, that you're right on. Starting pitching, and that's what Joe keeps saying. And he almost says almost like a broken record, and he is almost like that. We take that broken record, but if you're hanging in there and you're giving your team a chance, things will happen like that. And usually when you're getting good pitching, you're going to be leading after 6, 7, and 8. And the Monarchs have had that. Again, tomorrow, the early start time, 9:30 gates open, 11 first pitch for Sioux City. Then we're in Sioux Falls over the weekend, but it seems like it's Wednesday. We still got a ways to get there, right? Kansas City does still trail Fargo in the standings. I could have put that graphic up, but I'll just go and read it to you quickly. The Monarchs with the win last night, Fargo winning 2. They're 25-10. Boy, they're tough. 9 of their last 10. Kansas City, second best record, 23-11, a game and a half back. And then that's Chicago up in the East. They're 22-12. They lead that division by 4. Really, right now, it's Kansas City and Fargo. And then Lincoln's 5 back. They are 19-14. Winnie is 17-17, 7.5 back. Sioux City, 14-19. They're only, of course, 3 games behind Winnipeg, but that's kind of their goal right now is the next team in front of them. and it's a big series for them. Kansas City could really, I mean, the Monarchs could drop them. Well, they're 8.5 games behind you right now. You could drop them 10.5 games behind you with a couple of wins here. And even though we're not quite in July yet, that's still a pretty good margin in your favor. But anyway, that's the situation at the Ball Yard. Of course, not there today. We'll be there in a few minutes. But crazy, too, the weather last night blew through right as the game was over. I mean, talk about timing is everything last night. It blew through last night. Had some electrical pops here and there around the metro, but I think we're all good at the ballpark. All right, broadcast time tonight on the Monarchs Broadcast Network, which is aabaseball.tv, aabaseball.tv. I'll just put that right here in the chat. There we go. That's for the folks to get the video side of things. And, of course, right here, you're watching on replay. Here is the radio call from the ballpark. And I will, there we go. I don't have my mouse today. I left it sitting there when I was scrambling out of there with the rains coming last night. So I'm having to do the whatever, what do you call it? The mouseless work here. Here is the radio call right there. It's in the chat. All right. Ready for some 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'm ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'll see you in the broadcast. Night, everybody.